First phase of polling now over. West Bengal is gearing up for election. The Home Minister Amit Shah today unveiled BJP's election manifesto for the 2026 West Bengal Assembly polls at an event in Kolkata. The manifesto outlines a mix of welfare promises, governance reforms and security measures. Some of the key promises in the manifesto include implementation of the 7th Pay Commission for government employees, which is 3,000 rupees monthly assistance for women, as well as 3,000 rupees support for unemployed youth. The party also pledged to implement Ayushman Bharat and other central schemes alongside free vaccination, cancer screening and institutional delivery for women. Amit Shah also promised to introduce the Uniform Civil Code within 6 months if the party comes to power. The manifesto promises to curb cow smuggling along the border and generate 1 crore jobs in the state. Amit Shah also outlined a series of additional proposals in the manifesto. The party promised to release white paper on alleged corruption under the TMC government and on the state's law and order situation alongside fast-track investigation led by a retired judge. The party also promised to set up Durga Suraksha Squad to promote women's self-defense, as well as targeted schemes for key agriculture produce such as potatoes, mangoes and paddy. And the Sankalp Patra also promises one-time financial assistance of 21,000 rupees, 6 nutritional kits to pregnant women, besides 5,000 rupees for the first child and 6,000 rupees for the second child. The manifesto also includes plans to boost infra, develop blue economy roadmap, revive old tea gardens, establish a commission for Darjeeling tea. Additionally, the BJP has now pledged to set up Vande Mataram Museum to showcase Bengal's cultural heritage. Those, of course, are the key poll promises, the key manifesto outlines of the BJP's Patra. Joining me on the shores, Barno Burman, political analyst, Pratim Ranjan Bose, senior journalist, as well as Momita Chakraborty, who's a political analyst. Let's first quickly listen in to what Amit Shah said.
सबसे पहले हमारी सरकार घुसपैठ के प्रति जीरो टॉलरेंस की नीति से आगे बढ़ेगी। पूरी जनता कलकत्ता तक बंगाल की जनता के मन में एक भय है कि अगर ये घुसपैठ इसी तरह से चलती रही तो पश्चिम बंगाल का अस्तित्व भी रहेगा या नहीं रहेगा। मैं पश्चिम बंगाल की जनता को भरोसा दिलाना चाहता हूं, एक बार पूर्ण बहुमत की भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार बनाइए। हम डिटेक्ट, डिलीट और डिपोर्ट ये पॉलिसी के तहत चुन कर एक एक घुसपैठियों को बंगाल के बाहर निकालने का काम करेंगे और बंगाल और देश को सुरक्षित करेंगे। सभी सरकारी कर्मचारियों व पेंशन भोगियों के लिए डीए सुनिश्चित किया जाएगा और 45 दिन के अंदर ही 7वें वेतन आयोग को लागू कर सभी कर्मचारियों का सम्मान करने का काम नई बनने वाली भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार करेगी। मध्यम वर्ग और लोअर मिडिल क्लास और गरीब, वो सभी में महिलाओं की हालत बहुत दयनीय हुई है। जब तक ये गड्ढा नहीं भरता है तब तक भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार हर महीने 1 से 5 तारीख के अंदर 3,000 रुपया हर माता के बैंक अकाउंट में ट्रांसफर करेंगे। नरेंद्र मोदी जी की ढेर सारी केंद्र सरकार की योजनाएं राजनीतिक द्वेष के कारण और भ्रष्ट अनुपालना के कारण जो कंप्लीशन सर्टिफिकेट सबमिट करने की प्रोसीजर है वो न करने के कारण पश्चिम बंगाल में लागू नहीं हुई है। आयुष्मान भारत समेत भारत सरकार की सभी योजनाओं को हम कंप्लीशन सर्टिफिकेट के साथ इंप्लीमेंट कर पूरे देश की तरह नरेंद्र मोदी जी का गरीब कल्याण का यज्ञ हम बंगाल में भी शुरू करेंगे। महिलाओं के स्वास्थ्य के लिए निःशुल्क एचपीवी टीकाकरण, कैंसर की स्क्रीनिंग और 100% इंस्टीट्यूशनलाइज डिलीवरी, हर प्रसूता को डिलीवरी के समय इंस्टीट्यूशनल डिलीवरी का फायदा मिले, वो हम सुनिश्चित करेंगे। भारतीय जनता पार्टी शासित कई राज्यों ने कॉमन सिविल कोड, यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड लागू किया है। हम 6 माह के अंदर ही बंगाल के अंदर यूसीसी को लागू कर कर सभी नागरिकों के लिए एक ही कानून बंगाल में हो, वो सुनिश्चित करेंगे। ये 15 साल एक प्रकार से बंगाल के लिए, बंगाल की जनता के लिए काल रात्रि के दुस्वप्न समान रहे हैं। बड़ी आशाओं के साथ कम्युनिस्ट शासन से मुक्ति पाने के लिए बंगाल की जनता ने ममता दीदी को मैंडेट दिया था। 5 साल कम पड़े हैं ऐसा कर कर दूसरा मैंडेट भी प्राप्त किया और फिर अपने सिंडिकेट, गुंडे और घुसपैठियों की नाकचूड़ से तीसरा मैंडेट भी उन्होंने प्राप्त किया। मगर 15 साल में जिन आशाओं के साथ ममता जी को बंगाल की जनता ने सत्ता का सुकान दिया था, वो भयभीत है जनता, निराश है और मन से परिवर्तन चाहती है। और विगत 10 सालों में भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने यहां पर एक रचनात्मक विपक्ष के रूप में मान्यता हासिल की है। आज बंगाल की विधानसभा में हम मुख्य विपक्षी दल के रूप में काम कर रहे हैं और यही 10 साल में पूरे देश भर में नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में लोकाभिमुख शासन कैसे हो सकता है, इसका एक उत्कृष्ट उदाहरण स्थापित करने का काम किया है।
All right, that is BJP's election manifesto as far as the state of West Bengal is concerned. A host of promises there, from UCC to 1 crore jobs, from welfare to governance reforms. Let's unpack what it means for the BJP as far as West Bengal is concerned. Joining me on the show is Barno Barman, political analyst, Pratim Ranjan Bose, senior journalist from Kolkata, and Momita Chakraborty, also a political analyst. I want to come to the journalist first. Pratim, what stood out for you in that manifesto?
In West Bengal, we haven't been lucky to see development politics except for a couple of years of Buddha Bhattacharya. So it is music to my ears. First of all, is that, and it is doable because I was part of some of the planning, in the past, the industry hubs, and Singur can easily be converted into a industry hub. The land is ready. So is in Durgapur. So these are doable and can be done. It was not happening due to lack of political will. The best part is that they targeted each and every segment. There is a serious stress on farmers over here. So I understand the rise in procurement price will be a huge encouragement. It will get traction. And there are other, he just touched, and North Bengal, etc. there. Insofar as UCC and this infiltration, these are definitely issues over here. So it will get traction. It should get traction. So that is overall, I should say, it's a fantastic manifesto. The problem is that the section of the party candidates are yet to do their part of job. So they are not adequately visible, because these messages has to be carried to the ground. I hope they can do that.
Okay. the message needs to be carried to the ground. But Banu Barman, you heard Pratim Ranjan saying that this is music to his ears. So far, in the last 4 to 5 years of the TMC's rule, particularly in the last 2 years, which is what Amit Shah is also saying, all that we heard was of identity politics. Development has taken a backseat, and that's what BJP is promising.
See, today I would like to answer on the points where our Honorable Amit Shah ji has said whatever the manifest they have released. I would like to say my points on that as a citizen of Bengal.
Okay.
In 2014, when central government BJP came into power, they have assured to give 2 crore job employment every year, 15 lakhs to every bank account holder. But we haven't got anything. So a party who has failed to, keep their promise in 2024, why would people believe them in 2026? First of all. Second of all, Amit Shah has mentioned one point on institutional delivery. I would like to tell him that in Bengal, we have a rate of 100% institutional delivery, and the success rate in this institutional delivery is almost near to 99% in Bengal.
Okay.
First of all. Second of all, when it comes to agriculture, in India, Bengal stands in the top tier in agriculture. Farmers are not dying in Bengal. There might be certain problems in every sector, but I'm telling you, you go through the central portals, you will see Bengal is leading in agriculture. Farmers are getting the highest. They are getting paid highest for their crop they are growing. This is second. And third point, they are saying they will give 3,000 to every unemployed youth and the 3,000 for every woman. They are in many states. BJP is in many states. They have many double engine government in India.
Okay.
So tell them to implement it in any of the states they are in power. Because people of Bengal are well aware of politics. They are politically aware people. They are not going to get trapped in BJP's, I would say, quote-unquote, Jumla Baji. They will not fall in this Jumla trap.
Okay.
So,
but Banu,
people will reject BJP over and over. Let me finish myself.
Right.
BJP will reject, people of Bengal will reject BJP over and over, because there's a one part of Jumla and the other part of price hike in LPG, in petrol, in diesel. There are price hikes in every essential commodities, price hike in essential medicines, in cancer.
I'm not sure if there's been any price hike as far as retail LPG is concerned. I'm not aware of it. I'm not sure if Bengal is getting separate LPG, instead of the country. No, let me once now, since that you finished, I don't see any petrol price hike as well in the country. So I'm not sure where you're getting your petrol from. Apart from what private refiner, there's been no petrol and diesel price hike in the country.
We are getting 20% ethanol petrol, and we are buying the petrol in the same rate where we used to get 0% ethanol petrol.
That's not an India problem. That's a world problem. It's a global crisis right now. So I'm not sure where you're questioning BJP on right now.
You're not aware of the facts.
I'm very well aware of the facts. Why don't you make me aware of the facts?
You are not technically aware.
Why don't you make me aware? No, why don't you make me aware of the facts? Please make me aware of the facts.
I'm making you aware.
Yeah.
India was getting. Let us forget about India. In Bengal, we are getting petrol in 105. Suppose we were getting 0% ethanol petrol. If today we are getting 20% ethanol blended petrol in same rate, isn't it a price hike? We are getting worse quality petrol in the same rate. Isn't it a price hike? Nitin Gadkari has stated you will get petrol for 15 rupees if it is a ethanol blended petrol. and they are selling petrol in the same rate. Isn't it a price hike?
No. Firstly,
Isn't it a price hike? Tell me.
ethanol blending is a policy of the government. It's not a price hike. It's a policy of the government. Secondly, there's been no change in retail. Again, let me complete. Banu, let me complete. I understand. I understand. I understand. I'm a journalist, sir. I understand.
Please.
You have some affiliation. I have none. All I can tell you, at least the retail prices of petrol and diesel, despite what's happening in the neighboring countries, including Bangladesh, Nepal, as well as Pakistan, our petrol and diesel prices haven't gone up yet. I don't know about future. They haven't gone up, but I'm going to come back to you on that. Momita Chakraborty is also with us. Let's also take a question from Momita. You know, if the minute you say that all that Mamata Banerjee and TMC has been doing is identity politics and politics of doles, giving out welfare schemes, trying to help the people, it's communist government, that's what they're doing. The minute you announce similar doles by the way of help to unemployed people, 21,000 to pregnant women, how is the politics any different from what TMC is doing?
Well, so Shweta, coming to your question to give the answer, please allow me to just throw one line to Mr. Burno, what he was going through. Can I? Because I think that's really important to say.
Okay, go ahead.
He was talking about some commitment was done by the central government and all in 2014 and so. So I would like to remind her, so in Indian government policy, the central government receive the tax. All of us, we pay the tax. So central government take 59% of the entire tax and rest of the amount is getting distributed to the state. So in that honor, the West Bengal is receiving 41% out of it. That means we are at the 4th position right now. But unfortunately, our West Bengal government is completely failed to show how they are doing the expenditures, and they are showing that they are having so much loans and all. They don't have money. Every time they do, blame, they throw the blame on the central government and all. And coming to the scheme politics, to your question, and the identity politics, yes, this government is definitely having the selective, I call it as a selective governance, because one particular community is very favorable to the present government. Otherwise, you tell me one thing, Shweta, where Mr. Firhad Hakim is actually at the head of the Tarakeshwar development plan. But can you name one Hindu who is taking care of the masjid, or why there are not a single Hindu is
You're
positioned
talking about development.
at the top.
Development doesn't happen, selectively for one community. It happens.
I'm talking about the identity politics, as you asked me.
Okay.
And then coming to the manifesto, what BJP has done, BJP has announced today that BJP attempted through its Bharosa Patra is to build a multi-layered governance narrative for West Bengal. This is not merely a manifesto for me. It's centered on the welfare doles. It's broader political roadmap that seeks to address the state's economic, social, and definitely the administrative crisis, I would say. So at one level, the promise of direct financial support for women and unemployed youth reflects an immediate response to the household economic stress. But beyond short-term assistance, the more political significant commitment is the focus on the employment generation, industrial revival, and restoration of the investor confidence in Bengal. The emphasis on reviving industrial zones such as Singur sends a clear signal that the party wants to reposition Bengal as a state of job and growth rather than prolonged economic stagnation. But I also would like to add, right now in Bengal, the women security and safety is much talked topic, and definitely BJP is. Can I please
Banu,
complete, or no? I haven't interrupted, or neither I have given any dramatic expression. So please control your emotion. So Shweta, coming to the main point, BJP is not only strict to distribute the schemes like Chalo 3,000 rupiah le lo. They have also promised to offer the jobs. It's not, scheme is definitely required. People need money, but they don't want the
jobs.
people
I
to
understand.
be
Let's talk about jobs. I'm going to come to you, Banu. Pratham, on the jobs front, 1 crore jobs. Are we talking about government jobs? Are we talking about private sector jobs? And how do we really, come up with government jobs? 1 crore jobs, that's a huge number. And as far as private sector jobs is concerned, do you think there's enough and more possibility for private companies to now start coming into West Bengal? And we've seen they haven't shown inclination as much as other states to perhaps set shop, and that's where the jobs will come from. Where will these jobs come from?
First of all, I'll not get into this number. Of course, every government aspires. You have to look at the basics, whether we are doing things right or not. Now, Mamata Banerjee is the symbol of destruction. She was mastermind behind the exit of a prized auto industry, which could have brought in aviation, which could have brought many other things related to auto. It has all gone. We are back by at least 20 years. We lost 20 years. And we also shown on TV how we destructed that plant. I was aghast when they did that. The images go worldwide. The industry is not coming to Bengal for a simple reason. Because it is not confident about the government, it is not confident about law and order. I can tell you a small piece of data. Now, I worked with particular finance institutions, okay, and they lose some money due to snatching and etc. And we saw that roughly 70% of these snatchings do take place in West Bengal. I'm talking about hard cash, okay. So, and then this chadabaji, whosoever has worked, I am very much associated with industry. So we know how it operates. Corruption is everywhere. But in West Bengal, things are at a retail level. That simply stops things. I would like to answer one query of yours, where you asked about the dole. See, it is not personally to my liking, period. It is a freebie politics. I am personally, as an economist, I don't subscribe. Now, the point here and the problem here is, this is the problem of the vote politics. We saw what happened in Bihar. BJP has given the, someone who has been talking about the other things, he doesn't know what happened in the rest of the country. So it is very much there, everywhere. So they had
Pratham,
to
the reason I asked that question was also because this is the party that is strictly against Revdi politics, has spoken about Revdi politics numerous times at the center, and now it goes and doles out similar benefits to people in West Bengal. So how is this politics of convenience working for the BJP?
It is unfortunate, but in politics, you have to, I mean, I understand that. That is what I told you, that, if you leave it to me, I am not fighting election. I'm not into politics. So I'm doing this. But in politics, you have to go about this because it has become a trend. We know from where it came. From South India it came, and then it had spread across it got ground across the country. So now, but what I understand is that if they can take this message down under, because I did some Reiki in West Bengal 3 months back, the 100,000 they increased, TMC has increased it from 1,000 to 1,500. Right. It is not going to make much impact. If they can really be convincing on ground, I'm telling you, this will create an impact.
Okay. Bano, last 1 minute to you. Lots of questions, of course, but let me quickly sum it all up by saying that there is a consensus here as far as Bengal's current economic health is concerned. At one point, Bengal was contributing 12% to India's GDP. Today, it's contributing just under 5%. There is a consensus from the economist's point of view that Bengal hasn't done very well on the economic front, and West Bengal government has a huge role to play there.
Let me tell you, I don't know whatever numbers fellow panelists are saying, but you look at the GDP of Bengal. You see where Bengal is standing in MSME. We are leading everywhere. There are certain people who will always say it is not working, it is going to fall, it is going to collapse, it is going to cease. But no, the numbers are not saying so. The numbers are not saying so. There are some people who are, ma'am. So there are people.
No, you are giving wrong information. You are actually spreading misinformation.
No.
So I need to correct you.
Let me give my
What is the per capita income right now of West Bengal? What is the per capita income of West Bengal right now? And what is the per capita income of India right now? And what is the per capita income of the 14 states where BJP is in power? Please state that first.
I understand, the passions are running high. yes.
BJP will lose its seats, will lose its grip
Okay,
in Bengal.
that's your assessment?
And TMC is gonna win
Okay.
with the politics of
You know,
Unnayan.